As an artist, it is best to steer clear of any controversies, especially when you're at the top of the rap game. This isn't the case for multi-platinum artist Kanye West. There have been numerous occasions where he's not afraid to say what's on his mind. By having his confidence overshadow others, which results in him ruining the spotlight for many people, thus causing Ye to destroy countless relationships just because they challenge his status as a person. He'll do whatever it takes to prove that he still is the king, even if he has to perform snake-like activities to prove that. So today, we're going to look at 3 of Kanye West's biggest quarrels that affected his career. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. The first notorious moment that had Kanye affect someone's career was on September 13th, 2009 during the VMAs. For starters, Kanye was seen drinking before entering the show. That same night, Taylor Swift was announced as the winner of the Best Female Music Video award. However, once she got up on stage to give her speech, a drunken Kanye decided to take the mic away from her and said that Beyonce deserved the award, not her.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
This left Taylor extremely confused whilst on stage, because once she got the mic back, she didn't know what to do. In fact, the director of the VMAs, Hamish Hamilton, decided to check in on Taylor and Beyonce, to which they were both crying, which ultimately led to Kanye being kicked out of the award show that night. Taylor also explained how she wasn't excited to receive the award following the incident.
And I was really excited because I had just won the award, and then I was really excited because Kanye West was on the stage. And then I wasn't so excited anymore.
Ironically though, Beyonce did win Best Music Video shortly after, which is typically seen as a superior award compared to Best Female Music Video. When she went on stage to receive the award, Beyonce allowed Taylor to regain her spotlight since it was sadly taken away from her, returning back to Kanye, where he had the whole world hating on him. He even had his peers claiming he's an idiot. The hate on Ye would go as far as to reach former President Barack Obama to speak upon the situation.
He seems like a perfectly nice person. She's getting her award. What's he doing?
Why would he do that?
He's a jackass.
Funnily enough, former president and Kanye's friend Donald Trump seemingly wanted him to be boycotted around the same time. With all this hate that has arisen, it was only right for Kanye to provide an apology, in which he decided to post one on his blog. Unfortunately, he couldn't keep himself from saying that Beyonce still deserved the award. This apology would just make the whole situation worse, since he couldn't admit his wrongs. Luckily, he got a second chance when he appeared on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He claimed that the whole thing was rude and he wants an opportunity to apologize to Taylor in person. The next day, Taylor would actually respond to the statement while being on The View. She stated that Kanye still hasn't reached out to her despite saying that he would, but she still is open to accepting his apology. Following this, Kanye would in fact call Taylor to talk out the differences. This wasn't enough to catch the public's eye though, because in October of that year, it was announced that Lady Gaga's tour with Kanye would ultimately be cancelled. This was obviously due to the controversy that was surrounding Kanye's name at the time. Ye would attempt to apologize to Taylor once again on November 12, 2009 during one of his notorious rants. He'll start off by declaring that he wrote a song for Taylor Swift, and it's so beautiful that she should have it. If she won't take it, then he'll perform it for her. Although he said all this, the song never came into fruition. Kanye continued his rant by clarifying that Taylor has nothing to do with his newly found hatred towards award shows, alongside calling her a little girl. He then admits that he's a 32-year-old man-child before finishing his rant by apologizing to Beyonce, since in a way, she also didn't get her moment when accepting her award. A year would pass with not much happening between the two until the 2010 VMAs, where Taylor was asked to perform. She decided to debut her new song, Innocent, which was a direct diss towards Kanye. This was due to the lyrics within the song stating, "It's okay, life is a tough crowd, 32 and still growing up now. Who you are is not what you did." This was a boss move by Taylor because not only it would bring in an increased amount of attention due to the diss, it would also put Ye at a weird position since he's not really in the position to respond to her. Nonetheless, Kanye would indeed respond to this in the worst way possible, by him blaming the Hennessy he drank before the show to then attacking the Grammys for nominating Taylor Swift's Fearless project for Album of the Year, then finally backtracking on the apology towards her. On top of all this, he would even state that it was disrespectful for Taylor to even be in the same league as Beyonce. Then a month later, expressing how Taylor should have instead defended him throughout the whole issue. Kanye would double this statement down on June 11th, 2013 in an interview with the New York Times, where he describes that he has no regrets and that he only apologized to Taylor due to the peer pressure he was getting. If it wasn't clear enough, the tear within the relationship kept growing and Kanye wasn't making it any easier. While he was saying all of this, Taylor decided to sit in the sidelines and watch what Ye really thought about the night at the VMAs in 2009. Instead of lashing out Kanye for what he has said, the two would reunite at the Grammys on February 8th, 2015. It seemed both of them had reconciled to settle the differences. To capitalize on this, MTV decided to have Taylor Swift provide Kanye West with the Vanguard Award at the 2015 VMAs. When it was her turn to announce the award, she gave a speech towards Kanye, with her explaining how influential he was towards her career. After this, Kanye got up to the stage to accept his award. He would soon start giving his speech, where he started off by thanking Taylor for her speech. Regardless of how well the speech could have gone, Kanye decided to slowly start turning his speech into another 11-minute rant. With the rant, he publicized that MTV allegedly only put them together to bring up the ratings.
And look at that. You know how many times MTV ran that footage again? Because it got them more ratings. You know how many times they announced Taylor was going to give me the award? Because it got them more ratings.
Then continuing onto his distaste to award shows.
I still don't understand award shows.
With him ultimately revealing that not only he was drinking that night, he also smoked.
Did he smoke something before he came out here? The answer is yes. I rolled up a little something. I knocked the edge off.
Taylor appeared to be greatly distraught by this, since that night was supposed to depict how they reunited. This was undoubtedly seen when Taylor was slowly stepping away from Kim, as Ye was presenting his speech, in which they were supposed to be standing close to each other for a scheduled picture after Kanye finished his monologue. Obviously, due to him going off the rails, the photo shoot evidently became scrapped. To quickly fix the situation, Ye sent Taylor flowers, where she then posted them on her Instagram. From here on out, it seemed as the beef between the two has cooled down a bit, with not much happening over the next couple of months. This didn't last long though, because their altercation would only get more abysmal. During 2016, Kanye was rolling out his next album, The Life of Pablo. This album eventually dropped on February 14th, 2016. It contained the track Famous, and it swiftly became contentious, with him saying, "I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous." Naturally, this bar would make headlines from the resulting media outcry. After all, this was easily seen as a diss on her. Kanye immediately took to Twitter to state how this is not a diss on Taylor, with him even saying how he asked Kim for her blessings on the bar, as well as having an hour-long conversation on the phone with Taylor revolving around the line. He asserted that she found it funny and gave her blessings as well. Ye then stated, "Fourth, bitch is an endearing term in hip-hop like the word bro." And fifth thing, I'm not even gonna take credit for the idea. It's actually something Taylor came up with. Concluding this Twitter rant by Kanye, he then teased the fact that he has information on Taylor, but ultimately cannot share it with the world because he made her famous, even though she has a RIAA certified diamond record. In response to this, Taylor Swift's brother, Austin Swift, posted a video with the caption "Spring Cleaning," where he is seen throwing out his Yeezys. Oddly enough, around this time, Kanye arrived on SNL to perform 2 songs off his recent album, The Life of Pablo. Although at first glance, everything seemed perfectly fine, it was only until audio leaked of yet another one of Kanye's infamous rants was happening backstage. Apparently, it started with him being aggravated towards the fact that someone messed with the stage lights for his set. While he furiously talked about how annoyed he was at this, Ye proceeded to call Taylor fake. Supposedly, it took Kim as well as SNL showrunner Lorne Michaels to calm him down enough so he could perform. This moment instigated Taylor to respond back too, because in just a couple of days, Taylor attended the 2016 Grammys. When accepting her award for Album of the Year, she discussed, "There's going to be people along the way who try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame. If you just focus on the work and you don't let those people sidetrack you, someday where you get where you're going, you'll look around and know it was you." This was a direct response towards Kanye, since he has repeatedly said how he quote-unquote made her career, despite the fact that Taylor has earned multiple platinum records and overall received a substantial amount of success. This prompted Kanye during his Paradise Festival performance to admit that the night of him destroying one of the highlights of Taylor's career in 2009 was the beginning of his career slowly dissipating. He would go on to say that he was only verbalizing what everyone was thinking. Keep in mind, Beyonce did win the better plaque compared to Taylor, so Kanye's deposition on this didn't make much sense. Sometime after this, Kim announced in an interview with GQ that she indeed was aware of the bars on Famous, especially since she approved them. Kim would go on to tell the world that she has the whole phone call between Ye and Taylor on video. She even questioned why Taylor switched up on her husband in her 2016 Grammy speech. Kim then claimed that Taylor's attorney allegedly told her to never release that footage out to the public, in which they might have been onto something too, because recording a private phone call is illegal in California. Taylor's team responded by stating, "Taylor has never never denied that conversation took place. Kanye West never told Taylor he was going to use the term "that bitch" in referring to her. A song could not be approved if it was never heard, universally depicting how Kanye is trying to make it seem as if he's the victim. To which he did, because what Ye did to respond to her is unforgivable. On July 1st, 2016, Kanye dropped a famous music video on his YouTube. Within the music video, a naked sculpture of Taylor Swift can be visibly seen laying down next to Kanye. Rather than being transparent with Taylor about the music video, she would soon come into contact with it to her own accord. Taylor swiftly became terrified following her viewing of the video the next day. Understandably so too, because she had no control over her image in the video. If that wasn't enough, Kim Kardashian would then be seen defending Kanye's action on her reality TV show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Interestingly, she declared that Taylor presumably was in on the whole situation. This was odd because why would Taylor even use the altercation between her and Ye as free promo for Kanye after all that has transpired over the past few years? Kim then proceeded by saying that Kanye was in the right for getting in the way of Taylor's speech that night, with her even stating that "we all know Single Ladies was the biggest song of that year." Following this, Kim then dropped the video of Kanye talking to Taylor on the phone via Snapchat. At the time, these videos did confirm that Kanye was in fact asking for Taylor's blessings before dropping the track.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Like, the heads up is so nice. Like, even asking or seeing if I'd be okay with it, and I just really appreciate it. It's like, I never would have expected you to, like, tell me about the line in one of your songs.
The clips even painted a picture that Kanye apparently wasn't aware of who Taylor was before the show.
You gotta tell the story the way that it happened to you and the way that you experienced it. Like, you honestly didn't know who I was before that.
The next day, Taylor posted a paragraph on her Instagram responding to the leaked footage. She once again said how Kanye never touched upon her, calling her a bitch within the call. Taylor also noted that he promised to play the song for her, but never did. Then went on to defend herself by saying, "Being falsely painted as a liar when I was never given the full story or played any part of the song is character assassination." Finally ending the paragraph by requesting to be excluded from the narrative that started back in 2009. Kim immediately clapped back at Taylor by tweeting, "Wait, it's legit National Snake Day. They have holidays for everybody. I mean, everything these days." This tweet influenced many Kanye fans along with Taylor Swift haters to flood her comments on her Insta with a snake emoji. Taylor decided to make a genius marketing move soon after because she started promoting her next project, Reputation, using snakes, ultimately having her capitalize upon the beef. Following this moment, their feud would settle down for the next few years. Other than Taylor clarifying that Kanye ruined their friendship and that he snaked her in a similar way he snaked Drake, it wouldn't be until March 21st, 2020 where the full phone call between Kanye and Taylor Swift surfaced online, utterly indicating that the clips of the phone call that Kim leaked were altered in order for it to appear that Kanye was in the right. As Ye stated earlier in his career, he and Taylor discussed whether he should use the line or not. However, with this newly leaked video, it depicted the entire conversation between the two. Within the clip, it portrays Kanye informing Taylor what is the meaning behind the track. He describes how there is a bar that revolves around her. As this was happening, Ye seemed extremely worried on how Taylor might react, which caused him to refrain from telling her multiple times. Taylor evidently tells Kanye that she might need some time to think about him using the bar. She then ironically adds that she's glad that he didn't call her a bitch.
I'm glad it's not mean, though. It doesn't feel mean. But, like, oh my god, the build-up you gave it, I thought it was gonna be like, that stupid, dumb bitch. Like, but it's not.
To conclude the conversation, Taylor provides Ye with her full insight on the line, describing that it will lead to people thinking that he made her famous. This is most likely what Kanye was referring to when he stated that Taylor came up with the idea of the line back in 2016. After all, it is visibly clear that Kanye got the idea of saying he made her famous after hearing that. Taylor would eventually respond to the phone call leak, but instead of dragging out the situation, she took to the attention that she was receiving to promote donating to the World Health Organization and Feeding America. This was a brilliant idea too, because Taylor finally wanted to put this negative situation to rest and turn it into something positive. This wasn't the case for Kim though, because she went to Twitter to claim that Taylor has chosen to reignite an old feud and then went on to call her a liar because Taylor lied through her publicist who said that Kanye never called her. Kim even said that nobody ever denied the word bitch was used without her permission. Taylor's publicist then decided to post their unedited original statement regarding the matter, which yet again showed that Kim was being shady. She then posted some more tweets explaining how she never edited the footage, and suggesting that Taylor pushed her to leak the phone call video because of her lying. Kim finally ended her Twitter spree by declaring that this is her last time speaking upon the situation, and apologized for boring all of us because she knows we're dealing with more serious and important matters. Fast forwarding to 2022, where not much has been said between the two other than Kanye mentioning Taylor on his Insta story when talking upon his publisher. Many believe this was a way for Ye to reach out to Taylor, but it evidently never happened. More recently, Kanye has name-dropped Taylor on his collab project with Ty Dolla $ign called Vultures. When looking at his hit song on the album, Carnival, he says, "I mean since Taylor Swift, since I had Rollie on the wrist." Although this bar seemingly had nothing to do with their altercation, it didn't stop many from claiming that they still had problems with each other. To add on to the fact that they quote-unquote still have issues, former NFL player Brandon Marshall would comment on the I Am Athlete podcast, alleging that Taylor supposedly had Kanye get kicked out of the Super Bowl. Kanye did respond to this claim on a now deleted Instagram post on February 14th, 2024 by stating, "Also, I didn't get kicked out of the Super Bowl. We left our seats to go to YG's box and see different friends. My wife had never been to a Super Bowl, so I wanted to walk around and have a nice time. We had such a fun day." He did mention Taylor within the same post by saying he was on her side when she had issues with her manager. Her and Beyonce are huge inspirations to all musicians, and claiming he has been more helpful than harmful towards Taylor's career, with the most important line being targeted towards her fans, which states, "To all Taylor Swift fans, I am not your enemy. I'm not your friend either, LOL." In the modern day, it is pretty evident that neither Taylor nor Kanye care about the issues they have with each other. Even though one day they'll hopefully talk it out, they don't let a situation that happened almost 15 years ago affect them to this day. At this point, it seems like the fans are trying to put the puzzle pieces in the right place when new information comes out, when ultimately they don't fit together. Although Kanye believes he built up Taylor's career, what exactly happened when he built up someone's career and yet still didn't want him to succeed? It first started back in 2004 when Kid Cudi just moved to New York. He wanted to purchase some CDs at a Virgin music store, in which to his surprise, he saw Kanye West. Cudi nervously walks towards Ye and introduces himself, and he asks him to sign him. Unfortunately, Kanye would tell him that he has too many artists signed at the moment. The next time the two would run into each other was when Cudi worked at the Babe store in Soho. Kanye would purchase a jacket to which Cudi forgot to remove one of the sensors off, causing him to run after Ye to get back the sensor. Even though Cudi never got Ye's attention, he knew that it wasn't a coincidence that he ran into him not only once, but twice. This motivated him to keep pursuing his artistry and began developing his debut mixtape, A Kid Named Cudi. It eventually dropped on July 17th, 2008, and caught the attention of an A&R close to Kanye. Plain Pat would present Ye with the mixtape, and he was extremely impressed. Shortly after this, Kid Cudi would be signed under Kanye's record label, Good Music. Cudi and Kanye would also start working in the studio together. In fact, Cudi helped write 4 songs off of Ye's multi-platinum project, 808s and Heartbreak, with the tracks being Welcome to Heartbreak featuring Kid Cudi, Heartless, Paranoid featuring Mr. Hudson, and RoboCop, all accumulating billions of streams. Alongside Heartless being a notable hit, it seems like the duo matched each other perfectly. This is what caused many to call Cudi Kanye's protege, which is something Ye wasn't too fond of, cause Cudi would still be successful without him. Sadly, during 2012, things began to take a turn. Good Music started to create a compilation project titled Good Music Cruel Summer, featuring all the artists under the label. Fans instantly noticed that Kid Cudi only had 2 verses on the entire album. They started questioning if he and Kanye were on good terms. Before Cudi dropped his 3rd studio album, Indica, he would reveal to the world what was really happening during an interview.
You know, I just felt like there was a shift in my creative ventures and things that I wanted to do, and I think I just wanted to just do my own thing, man. So like the first batch of the Indica albums, and make sure y'all get these because these will be collector's items, but the first round, the first 200,000 that they ship will say Good Music.
Oh, wow.
The re-push out of that won't have it on there.
This depicted how Cudi recently left Kanye's label. With the new collector's items in place, Kanye would declare that there's no issues between him and Cudi. However, one of the songs off Indica named Cold Blooded explained the deeper meaning behind his decision. On the track, Cudi went on to say, "Feeling way worthless, the lost black sheep of good music. Only good for a hook? Huh? Let me show you flows." This depicted how Cudi felt as if Good Music was limiting his creative control. After all, according to the bars I read earlier, it seemed as if he was getting sidelined within the label, thus believing he should have paved the way for his own career. Things didn't get any better between the two because the following year, Ye dropped his classic album Yeezus. This is due to him using old Cudi vocals on the track Guilt Trip. Kid Cudi then discussed during an interview with Complex that he didn't understand why Kanye didn't call him to record record a feature, even stating, "Why put 4 bars of vocals to coax my fans into thinking this is a legitimate Kid Cudi feature on this song, and it isn't." He then went on to confirm that the rumor surrounding the fact that he only had 2 verses on the Good Music Cruel Summer project is because he gave Kanye his song Keeper. In fact, he was threatened to have only 1 verse on the whole tape. After this transpired, any news regarding the two went quiet for the next 2 years. They wouldn't reconcile until 2016, when Kanye was gearing up to drop his next project, The Life of Pablo. Kid Cudi would be seen at the release party due to him being on the legendary track Father Stretch My Hands Part 1. This caused numerous of fans to get excited since the altercation between the two seemingly cooled down. Sadly, fans would see a familiar fate in just a couple of months, as Kid Cudi would take to Twitter to say that the fake ones won't be lasting too much longer, with him then tweeting that the previous tweet applies to Kanye. Then, on the same night of those tweets, Kanye evidently responded during his performance whilst on tour.
Hey, Cudi, don't ever mention your name. I birthed you.
To make matters worse, Drake recently dissed him on the track 2 Birds, 1 Stone. Kanye then would do a song with Drake, which made Cudi upset. This wouldn't last long though, because Kanye would bring Cudi on stage and hug it out with him. They went to Japan together, then soon after announced their collab tape, Kids See Ghosts. The project sold 142,000 first week and landed on the number 2 spot on Billboard, showing how successful the duo was. Their friendship remained calm too, because Cudi would be featured on Ye's 2021 project, Donda, with the track Moon. Unfortunately, for Donda 2, Kanye decided to remove Kid Cudi off the album. This is because at the time he recently divorced his wife Kim Kardashian, who got into a recent relationship with Pete Davidson. Kanye found a photo where Cudi was having dinner with Pete. He then decided to post it with a caption saying, "I just wanted my friend to have my back." To which Cudi commented saying that he's glad that he's not on Donda 2. He even claimed that he was the best thing about his albums. He did end off the comment letting him know that he's praying for his brother. Kanye then would go on attacking Cudi with multiple other posts. Cudi understood what Kanye was going through and posted asking God to watch over him on his Insta. Ye then posted thanking Cudi for the love. However, this didn't stop him from announcing the removal of Cudi off Donda 2 due to his friendship with Pete, overall causing Cudi to announce that his last song with Kanye will be released off Pusha T's album on Twitter, with him saying he only cleared the feature for Pusha, not Ye. He's not cool with that man. Although it looked like they were never going to reconcile their friendship, on December 15th, 2023, Kanye was seen hugging Kid Cudi at one of the listening parties for his upcoming collab album, Vultures, with Ty Dolla $ign. It finally seemed like their friendship is at a stable place at this point in time. Sadly, as we saw up to this point, this may not last long since their friendship has always been shaky, finally showing that Kanye and Cudi's friendship may never be stable. Kanye wasn't only beefing with Cudi during 2022, because as I mentioned earlier, the reason why Ye removed Cudi off of Donda 2 was because he was cool with Pete Davidson. So what exactly happened to Pete during this time? According to Pete, on February 7th, 2022, him and Kim Kardashian officially started dating. This comes off of her recent divorce with Kanye West. She elaborates on why she decided to divorce the artist in a Vogue article stating, "For so long, I did what made other people happy. I'm going to make myself happy, and that feels really good. And even if that creates changes and caused my divorce, my 40s are about being team me." It's apparent that she was referring to Kanye within this article because for the past 2 controversies that I covered, she was by his side. Not too long after Kim's Vogue interview, Kanye would take to his Instagram to post a picture of his kids with the caption asking for God to bring his family back together. Which is why right after his relationship with Julia Fox ended, Ye sent Kim a truckload of flowers for Valentine's Day. Following this, he would post Kim with Pete alongside the caption being, "I don't have beef with Kim. I love my family, so stop that narrative. I'm not giving up on my family. I bought this coat for Kim before SNL. I thought it was particularly special. I have faith that we'll be back together. I never had anything against Daily Mail. I got love for everyone in the media, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. I speak directly to the media outlets the same way a ball player speaks to the refs. The world is our court, like a basketball court, and the court of public opinion. We have a public relationship because we are public figures. So to the public and to the press, sometimes people call me crazy, but to be in love is to be crazy about something, and I'm crazy about my family. Happy Valentine's." Sadly, even though Kanye was clearly going through it, Kim went on to spend her Valentine's with Pete. Around this time was also when Kanye was publicly bashing on Pete on his Insta page. For starters, he posted his announcement for removing Kid Cudi off Donda 2 by refusing to even name drop Pete's name. After this, he posted a picture of a dinner with Cudi and Pete, but having Pete's face crossed out. He then posted a Civil War poster of him and Pete at opposite ends, with Drake, Julia Fox, Travis Scott, and Future being on Ye's side, and Kim, Kid Cudi, Billie Eilish, and Taylor Taylor Swift being on Pete's side. Kanye would also have the caption to this post be, "The internet still hasn't found a decent picture of Skeet." Skeet being the name that Kanye called Pete throughout the entire confliction. This wasn't enough for him though, because Ye went on to post a message between him and Pete which depicts Pete informing Ye that he'll never get in the way of his children. The way he and Kim take care of their kids is utterly up to them and not him. Kanye seemingly responds to this by posting yet another photo of Machine Gun Kelly feeding Pete popcorn with the caption being, "No, you will never meet my children." To his surprise, Kanye's conflict with Pete would trend worldwide on Twitter. He took to Insta to post this with him asking if he can attend the Super Bowl with his family. Happily, Kanye did in fact get to spend the Super Bowl with his daughter North. Then, the next day, Ye would diss Pete and question if Instagram would take down his page for dissing Hillary Clinton's ex, referring to the tattoo Pete Davidson has of Hillary Clinton, to which Kanye would also post. Ye once more posts another movie poster, this time being Venom vs. Carnage. Now, having Kanye post all of these photos and captions targeting Pete Davidson, many started to believe that his page got hacked. Well, Ye would immediately deny this by posting a photo of himself holding up a notepad that reads, "My account is not hacked," alongside the date of when the picture was taken. He then take the beef to another level by evidently calling his fans to attack Pete if they see him in public. Ignoring this, Pete would reactivate his IG after a long time of it being deactivated. Kim would DM Kanye telling him to stop antagonizing his fans to harm Pete, in which he posts the text along with telling them to not do anything physical towards Pete. After this, Ye continued to post more of the conversation between him and Kim. Within the convo, he let her know that he told his fans to not target Pete. She then thanked him with Kanye responding that he'll do anything to regain his family back. Kim then asked him to stop posting their text messages. Kanye would seemingly respond by telling her that she's his favorite person, so why wouldn't he post them? This caused many to start to believe that he's harassing Kim. He did respond to this claim in another post explaining that he takes accountability for posting the screenshots as well as retiring him typing in all caps since it makes it seem like he's yelling at people. Oddly enough, this didn't prevent him from posting a sign that clearly is a response to the current situation. He also would retract what he said about using all caps because he posted again with the caption being, "All caps is back for the people." Due to all these posts, Kanye would be banned from SNL and get unfollowed by the entire Kardashian family. Unfortunately for Pete, he would get an insane amount of Kanye fans commenting under his first Insta post since his return. By having many call him Skeet, it only resulted in him deactivating his Instagram once again. This prompted Ye to celebrate on his IG page 2 days later by posting his deactivated page alongside the caption being, "Ran Skeet off the gram. Tell your mother I changed your name for life." In the midst of this happening, Kim and Kanye officially divorced, meaning the both of them are legally single. In response to this, the next day Kanye and The Game dropped a music video for their official single, Easy. Before we dive into the music video, I'd like to mention that within the track, Ye declares that he's going to beat Pete Davidson's ass. Now, within the music video, it portrays Pete Davidson getting kidnapped, then decapitating his head, to then burying him in the ground alongside with some seeds, turning him into a bush. The video would end with a message saying, "Everyone lived happily ever after, except Skeet, you know who," with Skeet crossed out. Then concluding the message with, "JK, he's fine." Kim Kardashian quickly became irritated towards Ye for the release of the video. He followed this up by posting a screenshot alongside him claiming that the entire video is a form of art. To return the favor, Kim posted photos of her and Pete on her page. On March 13th, 2022, Pete doubled down on this by texting Kanye regarding his actions. Pete starts off by saying, "Yo, it's Skeet. Can you please take a second and calm down? It's 8 a.m. and it don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing. And you are so fucking lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us like this anymore. And I'm done being quiet. Grow the fuck up." Kanye then replies, "Oh, you're using profanity? Where are you right now?" Pete then says passive aggressively, "In bed with your wife," with him also sending a picture of himself laying down. They went on to discuss communicating their differences in person. Pete then ended the conversation by offering to help Kanye out, even admitting that he prevented SNL from making fun of him. As these messages were being revealed to the public, Kanye took to his Insta story to do a prayer, to which he mentioned the text messages.
The boyfriend text me, antagonizing me, bragging about being in bed with my wife. I thought it publicly for a year and a half. I've been dragged, and how she's not my wife. She don't have a last name, and now he texting me, talking and bragging about how he's in bed with my wife. And I'm like, well, who's watching my children?
He then continued by talking upon the tattoo of Hillary Clinton Pete has on his leg.
Kim gets black people out of prison. You know who puts black people in prison? The person that the boyfriend has a tattoo of, Hillary. You understand the setup right here? You understand the narrative right here?
Within the same video, he does claim that Kim has the power to cut off access to his children. He then posts his daughter's backpack when he was allowed to see her. Kim fought against his statement by commenting, "Please stop with this narrative. You were just here this morning picking up the kids for school." She then adds on whilst on the Ellen show that she tries to ignore all of Kanye's antics and hopes for the best for the kids. However, Kanye and Pete Davidson's beef would seemingly come to an end in August of 2022, when Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian would end their relationship. This didn't stop Kanye from posting one last shot at Pete, fully announcing the death of Skeet Davidson, ultimately showing that their one-sided beef was him trying to seek help in the most Kanye way possible. With Kanye recently apologizing for his previous antics and making a song with his daughter North titled Taking off his collab album Vultures, then Pete focusing more on newer projects, they are both focusing on their own careers. Although Kanye has been in many controversies throughout his career, he still uses his self-esteem to aid him in staying on top of the game. No matter what comes in his way to bring down his career, he'll always fight against it in any way possible. After all, he's been the top artist for multiple generations. Even though I didn't have enough time to cover every beef he has been in, it's best to leave off the video by saying that Kanye will always believe that he's invincible.